Hoppa. Hoppa. Allah.
We're Sarah and Marek, and we've been traveling on a tight budget since October 2020. Budget travel has its highs and lows, but we're so happy to be exploring the world, experiencing delicious foods, different and interesting cultures, and seeing some incredibly beautiful places. Subscribe and join our adventures. Good morning from Istanbul. Today we are doing our own DIY Turkish street food tour, and we have so many items on our list. So let's not waste any more time.
Our first stop for the day is at a cafe that is literally right across the road from where we're staying, and this road is bustling. But we've just ordered our first two items and we are so excited to get started with the day. Our first two items for the day, we started on dough just right. We're getting breakfast and a bit of coffee. So, I'm not the biggest fan of coffee, but ever since I tasted Turkish coffee the first time, I was like, yes, this is my drink. I can drink it all day, every day. It's quite bitter and it's quite thick, but altogether it's just such a massive explosion of flavor, and I really enjoy it. But to eat, we got a dish called Menemen, which is basically traditional Turkish scrambled eggs. So it's basically just a mixture of scrambled eggs, tomatoes, green peppers and spices, and it looks amazing. They also give you a side dish of a massive amount of bread. Oh yeah, I could eat that every single day. A little bit of spiciness, but then just the creaminess of the egg and the tomatoes and everything mixed together. It's just beautiful.
Ooh, this bread is fresh. Yum. Wow, a beautiful pop of flavor to wake up your taste buds in the morning. Yes, I could eat this for breakfast every damn day. This smells amazing.
So this is something called Pide A. Now Pide A in its simplest form is basically just like a pizza that's been wrapped up over itself, and it's filled with a mixture of ground beef and cheese. Now the cheese is more of a traditional cheese and it's made of goat's milk. I'm sure you can see just how soft the almost pastry or the dough is. It is amazing.
It's crunchy on the outside, but not like very crunchy. A little bit of crunch, soft on the inside. We've got the beef and the cheese that is so tasty and delicious and warm.
This is a must try if you're ever in Istanbul.
The funniest thing just happened. As we were finishing off our pita, a guy appeared who was working at the restaurant, and he was holding a bucket of food. So he started whistling, and out of nowhere, the streets and the sky was filled with seagulls, and he started throwing the food onto the pavements, feeding the seagulls like pigeons. And the funniest thing about it all was that it was all over within like a minute. The seagulls knew exactly what the whistle meant, and they came so quickly, and the food and the seagulls disappeared so fast, and it was all over. But that pita was that pita was incredible. It's making us so excited for all the food that's to come. So on to the next. Wow, we just stumbled upon a street vendor who's actually won the award in Istanbul for being one of the best street vendors for Icli Kofte. And he gave us a book.
Bu benim size hediyem.
No
problem.
No
problem. No problem.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Teşekkür ederim.
Thank you very much. And signed it for us and everything. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is him right here. Amazing. So, Icli Kofte. This is a bulgur wheat shell. It's got minced meat in here, spices, what was the other thing?
Onions.
Onions. So it's got minced meat, spices, onions, and sometimes nuts. Wow, what an interesting texture. That is so good. It's not overly flavorful, but the texture is so interesting. I've never tasted anything like this before.
Oh my goodness, it's stuffed so full of ingredients. Look at all the meat.
I didn't get the mincemeat.
And the peppers. This is perfect, actually. I can understand now why he won the prize for first place for being the best street vendor. This is amazing. It's a perfect little bite-sized pocket of love.
I need another one. I didn't get the meat. There it is.
A big thank you to our friend Mustafa for the best Icli Kofte we will ever taste in our entire lives.
If you come to Istanbul, you definitely need to check this place out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
So doing a street food tour, and depending on how you see it, beer, bread, either way, it's Turkish, and we are thirsty from walking around, so we just had to give it a taste. Ooh, that was one of the best beers that I've had in a while. Okay, but back to the street food. This is called Midye Dolma, and it's basically a stuffed mussel. So what it's got inside is rice, spices, and currants, and you generally put some lemon juice on top of it. Wow. Oh, this is my new favorite way to eat mussels, so let me tell you what. Very creamy, you get the lemon juice. That was delicious. Wowzers.
Yemiyor.
That is amazing. I usually don't like mussels. That doesn't even taste like mussels. Wow.
Pardon.
So much flavor in my mouth right now. That's so good.
That's so good. What did I tell you about those Turkish coffees? I just can't get enough. It is so good.
Wow, our next meal just arrived. This smells incredible. I think it's called kebab. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's basically lamb, pepper, rice, tomato, and pizza bread or lavash. It looks incredible. The meat is so tender.
This is a dish that I've honestly been the most excited for today. I mean, just look at this. If you could just smell the smells that's hitting me in the nostrils right now, it is incredible. Oh. That's a food tour right there. Nothing can beat it. We have the champion. This is so good. It doesn't even taste like meat anymore. It's just so soft. It tastes like we're chewing butter. It is amazing. Oh my goodness. It's a rather strange turn of events there. The more we ate, the more the texture of the meat started changing. And after a while, I was thinking, like, listen here, this actually tastes a little bit like liver. So it turns out that we actually ate a thing called sigasis rather than the kebab, what we thought we were eating. Now, sigasis is lamb's liver. Now look, I'm not the biggest fan of lamb's liver, but it was actually pretty good. But if we actually had kebab, I'm sure it would have tasted 100 times better. But let's carry on with the tour.
So this is Tantuni, And it was so interesting to watch how it's made, that massive pan of meat, and then the garnishes laid in with the wrap. See how much sauce there was, how they pressed the meat to get the sauce onto the wrap. I'm very excited to try this. And it's actually referred to as a Turkish taco, although I don't see the resemblance to a taco, but let's try it. I love the herbs. And the meat, the herbs, super juicy. So good.
Oh. This is so good. Everything that I've eaten today has just been so full of flavor and just so juicy, and this is no different. It is absolutely amazing. The meat is so nicely spiced. The tomatoes and the herbs, everything just works together so well. This is delicious. So we're actually doing pretty well so far. We've eaten quite a bit of food already. We've eaten quite a bit of food already, but we're actually not feeling too full. That's because maybe most of the food that we've eaten have been quite light, and we've actually walked quite a lot as well. We've walked 8 kilometers already in total. But it is 4:20. We've got a few items on the list, and we definitely want to get through all of them before we call it for today.
So let's find more food.
So we've got 2 typical street foods that you can find here in Istanbul. The first one being something called Simit. And these 2 things you can find everywhere. So Simit is basically a Turkish bagel. And it's typically crusted with sesame seeds. Oh! Oh, yes.
Wowza, sprinkled with sesame seeds.
Oh, it's okay.
No, thank you.
It is very, very tough.
The sesame seeds are roasted a bit and they actually give quite a nice flavor.
Otherwise, a pretty good bagel.
Next up is something that I had no idea what it was when I first saw them frying it up at these little street stalls. Chestnuts.
Roasted chestnuts.
Honestly, I thought they were covered in chocolate when I first saw them, and I'm not gonna lie, slightly disappointed that it has nothing to do with chocolate, but let's see how they taste. That is so sweet and just strange.
Not my favorite thing I've ever tasted.
What does that taste like? It's so sweet.
I don't think it's been quite roasted all the way through, so it's still a little bit raw in the center. It's basically just like, it's crunchy on the outside and nice and crisp, but it's a little bit raw on the inside. A little bit of a disappointment. But you can actually smell them all throughout Istanbul, because you can smell the outside like husk of the chestnut busy burning really on the coal. So you just smell this burn smell of nuts wherever you walk. That's okay, thank you. No, don't use it. Thank you. The one downside of these chestnuts is that you can only buy them starting with a minimum of 150 gram pack for 20 lira, and now we've got a whole bag.
For our next item, we're actually heading over to Asia. Welcome to Asia. We are here for a very specific reason, so let's head to our next stop. We came to this very restaurant, ordered this exact dish just a few days ago, but we had no idea what we were eating. So this is Kokorec, and it is made with offal, which can be anything from heart to lungs to kidney, which is then wrapped in lamb or goat intestines, grilled over a spit, chopped up finely, and then fried again with tomato, fresh herbs and spices, and then it's served in this fresh roll, which is also hung over the spit. Let's give it a taste. It's very fatty, but so flavorful. I'm not sure how I feel about it now that I know what it is. But I was very impressed with it the other day, and it's very good.
If you just put the thought of what you're actually eating to the side, this is delicious. It really, really is good. It is so nicely spiced, it is so juicy, and even just with like the fattiness of it, it brings an extra bit of juiciness to it, and it's just all so well cooked together, and It is very good, but the thought of what you're eating does put you off a little bit.
So that was a fun little trip to Asia. Honestly, if you are ever in Istanbul, you should really consider using the commuter ferry as a means of transportation. It's a fun and unique experience, and it's really reasonably priced because it's public transportation. Alright, it's time to head back to Europe.
Ooh, we just got our hands on something called baklava.
Cheers! Wow!
There's a syrup dripping out of this thing. It is so sweet and so crunchy and flaky from the pastry.
And the pistachio is so nice.
It's delicious.
Yeah, this is what it looks like.
Oh, that is wonderful. That was so good. But our food tour would not be complete without this final thing.
Okay. Hayırlı işler, kolay gelsin. Sağ ol abi. Güzel, bize de ikram var mı? Vay 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 vay. Ya! Yes, please. Extra for you. Okay. Thank you.
Honestly, I love the whole Turkish ice cream experience. It's so fun, and this ice cream is delicious. Some of the best ice cream I've ever tasted. The experience, 10 out of 10.
But that wraps it up for our Turkish street food tour. We really had so much fun today, just tasting all these different types of foods. Now we're not too sure how much today is going to cost us yet. We're a bit scared to go and work out that total cost. But if you're interested to find out, make sure you stay till the end of the video to find out exactly how much today cost us.
This is a big splash out for us. We don't usually spend this much money in one day, but we tend to splash out when we're making these food tour videos so that we can experience the food and share it with all of you as well. So if you watch our food tour videos and enjoy them, thank you, we really appreciate you.
And today we weren't just saying the food was good, like it is seriously
So
good. Some
delicious.
of the best food that we have ever tasted.
And we felt like we tasted almost everything, but if there's one thing I've learned about Turkish food, it's that there's so much of it and it all seems to taste incredible. So if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. It really helps us out a lot. And subscribe so you can join us for all of our adventures moving forward in Turkey. We'll see you guys back this coming Tuesday. Boop.
And to eat, whoa, a bit of the coffee had clapped me there in the throat. And to eat, we got is it coming up this way? Can you see? Yeah. Oh! Gave me a bit of a fright there.
Hurt my ears.